Hey there, fellow bakers! Welcome back to Emo's Kitchen, where we turn your home into the sweetest place on earth. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to take you on a delicious journey through America's most iconic cakes. These aren't just desserts, they're edible pieces of our history, each one telling a story of tradition, creativity, and pure indulgence that has been passed down through generations. As someone who's spent countless hours perfecting these recipes in my own kitchen, I can tell you that mastering these American classics will not only impress your family and friends, but also connect you to the rich tapestry of our nation's culinary heritage. So grab your apron, preheat that oven, and let's dive into the sweetest adventure together. There's something absolutely magical about red velvet cake that makes it the ultimate showstopper at any gathering. This velvety smooth cake with its distinctive crimson color and tangy cream cheese frosting has been stealing hearts since the 1920s. What makes red velvet truly special isn't just its stunning appearance, it's the perfect balance of cocoa, buttermilk, and that hint of vanilla that creates an incredibly tender crumb. The secret to achieving that perfect red velvet lies in the chemical reaction between the cocoa powder and acidic ingredients like buttermilk and vinegar. This reaction not only gives the cake its characteristic flavor, but also contributes to that incredibly moist texture we all crave. When I'm making red velvet in my kitchen, I always use natural cocoa powder rather than Dutch processed, as it maintains the acidity needed for that perfect rise and color. The cream cheese frosting is where many home bakers stumble, but I've got you covered. The key is ensuring your cream cheese and butter are at perfect room temperature, not too soft, not too cold. This creates that silky, pipeable consistency that makes your cake look absolutely professional. Nothing says American indulgence quite like a proper New York cheesecake. This dense, rich, and incredibly creamy dessert has been the gold standard since the early 1900s, and for good reason. Unlike its lighter European cousins, American cheesecake is all about that luxurious, almost custard-like texture that melts on your tongue. The foundation of an exceptional New York cheesecake starts with quality cream cheese and lots of it. I always use full-fat cream cheese at room temperature, which ensures smooth mixing without lumps. The magic happens when you combine this with eggs, sugar, and just a touch of vanilla, creating that signature dense yet creamy texture that makes New York cheesecake legendary. Temperature control is absolutely crucial when baking cheesecake. I've learned through trial and error that a water bath is your best friend here. It provides gentle, even heat that prevents cracking and ensures that perfectly smooth top. The cooling process is just as important. Gradual cooling prevents those unsightly cracks that can ruin an otherwise perfect cake. When Americans think of birthday cake, celebration, or pure comfort, chocolate layer cake immediately comes to mind. This towering beauty represents everything we love about homemade baking. Rich chocolate layers separated by creamy frosting, creating the perfect bite every single time. The secret to an outstanding chocolate layer cake lies in using both cocoa powder and melted chocolate, which creates incredible depth of flavor. I always bloom my cocoa powder in hot coffee or hot water first. This simple step intensifies the chocolate flavor dramatically and creates that deep, complex taste that store-bought cakes simply can't match. Achieving perfectly level layers is something every home baker should master, and it's easier than you think. I use cake strips around my pans to ensure even baking, and I always weigh my batter to divide it equally between pans. This attention to detail is what separates good chocolate cake from absolutely extraordinary chocolate cake that will have everyone asking for your recipe. Carrot cake might seem like an unusual choice for a dessert, but this moist, spiced cake, topped with tangy cream cheese frosting, has become one of America's most beloved treats. What started as a way to use readily available ingredients during wartime rationing has evolved into a sophisticated cake that perfectly balances sweetness with warm spices. The key to exceptional carrot cake is in the preparation of your carrots. They should be finely grated to distribute evenly throughout the batter and create that characteristic moist texture. I always use a combination of cinnamon, nutmeg, and just a pinch of ginger to create that warm, comforting spice profile that makes carrot cake so irresistible. You know, many bakers overlook the importance of properly measuring flour in carrot cake, but honestly this step is crucial. Too much flour creates a dense, heavy cake, while too little results in a cake that just falls apart. I always spoon my flour into the measuring cup and level it off for consistent results every single time. Despite its name, Boston cream pie is actually a cake. And what a magnificent cake it is. This elegant dessert consists of 2 layers of sponge cake filled with rich vanilla pastry cream and topped with a glossy chocolate glaze. It's sophisticated enough for special occasions, yet comforting enough for everyday indulgence. The sponge cake component really requires a delicate touch. You want something light and airy that can support the creamy filling without becoming soggy. I've found that a classic Genoese sponge works beautifully here, and the trick is folding the ingredients together gently to maintain that light texture. The pastry cream is where this dessert truly shines. Making pastry cream from scratch might seem intimidating, but it's actually quite straightforward when you understand the process. The key is constant stirring, and patience. Rushing the process will result in scrambled eggs rather than smooth, luxurious cream. Sometimes the most simple cakes are the most challenging to perfect, and pound cake is the ultimate example of this principle. This dense, buttery cake gets its name from the traditional recipe that called for a pound each of butter, sugar, eggs, and flour. While modern recipes have evolved for practicality, the essence remains the same: pure, unadulterated cake perfection. You know, the secret to exceptional pound cake really lies in proper creaming technique. I spend a full 5 minutes creaming my butter and sugar until the mixture is light, fluffy, and pale in color. This incorporation of air is what gives pound cake its fine, tender crumb, even though it's got that dense nature we all love. These 6 American cake classics represent more than just desserts. They're edible traditions that bring families together and create lasting memories. Each one offers unique challenges and rewards, making them just perfect for bakers looking to expand their skills and repertoire. Remember, baking is as much about the journey as the destination. Every cake you make teaches you something new about technique, flavor balance, and, honestly, the pure joy of creating something beautiful and delicious with your own hands. Don't be discouraged if your first attempt isn't perfect. Even I've had my share of sunken cakes and lopsided layers. If you found this guide helpful and want to see me demonstrate these techniques step by step, make sure to subscribe to Emo's Kitchen and hit that notification bell. I love sharing these baking adventures with you, and your support means the world to me. Share this article with your fellow baking enthusiasts. After all, the best part of baking is sharing both the knowledge and the delicious results with the people we care about. Happy baking, my friends!